All right. So we're recording New Year's Eve. Welcome everyone. Yeah, it's been a great year for Tellor. It was the birth of Tellor. Hopefully you guys all got a chance to go read um, the year in review article. You guys can see kind of everything we've done over the past year. Really proud of the team. I think we all did a really great job, and obviously really proud of the community too. Wouldn't be here without you guys, so thanks. Yeah, so we'll just kick off kind of the tech pieces with the exciting news. GPU miner. So it's almost done. We'll be releasing it sometime within the next week. Just finishing up some testing. The last thing I want is everybody to post a bunch of bad values and us to have 50 disputes on our hand or something like that. So just doing up some final testing. I'm not running it on mainnet, so I'll push it to you guys to do that. So we'll probably see the difficulty here just kind of explode, but it should be really exciting. So the way that we built it, we're using the OpenCL library. So it should support AMD, NVIDIA, kind of most graphics cards. If you should just be able to Google if your graphics card is supported. Almost all of them are. I'm testing them on NVIDIA. It works great. Another guy was testing an AMD. Also works great. So yeah, so it should be relatively easy. So the only thing that you're going to have to do to prepare for the GPU when we launch it is it's going to be the exact same miner that it is now, but then in the config file, you're going to add one line. I'll post examples there. You're going to put use GPU true. And if you use GPU true, it's going to try and use your GPU. So it should be really, really simple to implement. And if you just leave it as is, it's going to continue using the CPU to mine. So yeah, it should be a really easy implementation. But as you guys will probably take to it, just remember, so it's still like an MVP GPU miner. So I'm sure somebody's going to break it, but there's going to be a lot more tweaks that are going to come down the road. I want to tweak some parameters as far as giving you guys more control within a config file over some of the default parameters. Those will come a little bit later, but just know that you'll have it, and it'll just have kind of all the default parameters set, and we'll be working on giving you guys a lot more control over that. So yeah, just basically what you need to do is just look out for it, add a line to your config file, and kick it off with the GPU, and it should be good to go. So yeah, that's exciting. The other thing that's exciting, I'll post the link with this video, is we have a mining pool up and running. So Shepherd Blue, he's mainly active over on Discord. He built a mining pool, and the code's all open source. You guys can go look at it. Mining pools are inherently this, you sort of have to trust him because you're mining on his public address, and then you trust him to pay you out. So if he isn't paying you out, or there's some issues going on, definitely just reach out to me. But he got the URL tellorpool.org. I've met him in real life. He's actually a real person. He's a nice guy. So there's, I think he's a great person to be operating the first pool. If you want to go give it. Right now, though, he actually has the pool software is only written, he has it written in Python. So he's working on upgrading that. So if you guys want to help him out, especially once the GPU code comes out, to just utilize that instead, it can be a lot easier for everyone. So there's a lot of upgrades that can be done to that, but we have a pool implementation that we can all start working on, and you can ping him with some questions and just what he's doing there. I'm pretty sure he's also run some pools for other coins too. So it's not like he's inexperienced at doing it. Another thing I wanted to talk about with you guys, the bounties program. So we paid out a bounty for the pool. We put that up there and he took it. The other things, we're going to pay out the bounty for the GPU miner. We got some help with that. And there are a lot more bounties that are available. So I continuously update it. So every week I try and add more things to the bounties list. I try and increase some amounts on things that are a little bit more pressing. So make sure you go back, look at it, reach out to me if you guys want to see something else, or if you want to kind of tackle one of them, if you need more details. That's a good thing. And reach out to me if you're doing it, so I can put, that you're doing it and nobody else comes and takes it before you. But I did want, as we start moving forward and hopefully get more and more of a dev fund going on, we want the bounties program to kind of be an integral part of how we operate as Tellor. The dev share is used to pay for the core team, but we want to expand in the best way possible to build a decentralized ecosystem. There's been a lot of ways that people have done this. So, Ethereum Foundation uses grants very heavily, and other projects just like to hire teams as big as possible or give bounties. And we'd love kind of your guys' thoughts on this. What you guys think is the best way to actually build and maintain a thriving decentralized ecosystem that also ships products and isn't just for research, like in a lot of the Ethereum pieces. We're not just, we want to use the dev fund. We don't want to just sit on it and have the biggest pool in the system for voting purposes. We don't want it to be centralized like that. We want to use it to help build Tellor faster, and mainly we want it to go to the community members who are building on it. We don't want it to go to, we don't want to pay consulting firms to go build these things. We want the community to build them. We want the community to maintain them. So let us know what you guys think is the best way to kind of do that. Sure. So other pieces on the tech side. So one of the big things that Tellor is going to be looking, so as we move into the new year, we'll be posting kind of an article this month on Tellor's vision going forward. And then over the next few months, we're going to be posting kind of specs on where we see Tellor V2. We'd love all your thoughts on that, and also the cross-chain Tellor piece. So before we tell you too much about it, like with the posting of what our specs are, we want you guys to think about it. So, like the cross-chain piece, we've been talking with, so like there's the Cosmos guys, they're doing a lot with right now, and how would we implement Tellor on one of these systems? So you obviously couldn't just redeploy Tellor on top of Cosmos, because like if you redeploy the exact same system, now you have your miners who have to choose which system you have. Now you double your inflation rate. There's a whole lot of issues. You can't just do that. You have to create some other system, and Cosmos already has a working bridge, so you can port tokens from Ethereum to Cosmos. So what would a system, if you can transfer Tellor tokens over to Cosmos, what would a system of validating kind of price data on Cosmos look like? And it doesn't have to be Cosmos. We want this to be sort of a generalized structure. So whether it's even a side chain, we were in Binance Labs with the Matic guys. What would Tellor look like on Matic? What would Tellor look like on Harmony? Another one. So there's all of these separate chains that we want to eventually be able to support, but we need sort of that structure of, okay, well, Tellor is mainly on Ethereum. That's where sort of the minting of the tokens happens. How can we still support these other chains? How can we still make Tellor bigger than just what it is right now? And that's what we're working on doing. The other pieces, when it comes to kind of the V2 Tellor, what are ways that we can make Tellor faster? We have a bunch of ideas. How fast can we reduce that block time down to? What size data can we input? There's a lot of different things to think about when it comes to the security of Tellor, when it comes to the usability, and also when it comes to the cost. If you had every block of Ethereum, even where you could submit a new Tellor value, this security issues aside, that would be crazy expensive for our miners, just gas costs on the network. So there's going to be a lot of balances that we have to sort of play with, and we're going to want your guys' input on it. Even with Tellor V1, when we launched it, we wish we had the community when we were building it originally, because you guys have already given us a lot of great feedback on it. There's a lot of really smart people in our community, and we want your thinking to be in this next build. So that's kind of it. I see like almost everybody joined late, you guys, which is interesting. But the big thing at the beginning, GPU miner coming out within the next week. Stay tuned. Next week too, so we'll be doing the call at the same time. Next week we're going to have a guest on the call with us. So the guys, Angelo and Valentine over at Dex Blue, they run a Dex on Ethereum. They wanted to come and talk with us. And they asked if they could be on the tech call. And I was like, of course. So what they do, they like to work with miners and large holders of the system. So you can do it direct through their Dex, sell of your tokens as soon as you get them. So they use, they're obviously tapped into Uniswap and all of the other decentralized exchanges as well. So they source liquidity from a lot of different places, and they sort of help you automate this process, and they're looking for people to help them try it out. So if you're interested, they'll be here. Bring your questions. So we got a question. Somebody said, pay attention to the transactions and their intensity. Something about different data, but their naming is too fast to solve. So I don't know what this means. He just sent it today, like an hour ago. So we're still looking into it. I think, what a lot of the fear has always been just that the mining gets too centralized. So you have one party who develops some new algorithm or throws way more hash power than everyone else at it, and they take over the network. And this has happened several times with Tellor already. And that's fine. I'm guessing that whenever we release the GPU miner, we're going to see people tweak it, and it's off to the races. It'll probably be a new crowd of people who take it over for a month. And that's fine. That's kind of in the spirit of decentralization. Once we eventually settle on, you'll hit equilibriums when it comes to the number of miners on and what software people are using. Right now Tellor's just growing so fast, it's hard to you can't really make any quick decisions when it comes to these things, because if nobody's really being malicious to the network at the moment. People are doing what they're supposed to do. They're in their own self-interest, throwing more hash power, which makes Tellor more secure. So so if MBG Buzzer is out there, and would love to talk to you guys. So Lee asks, as of today, besides yourself, how many people does Tellor employ and are actively working? So there's 3 of us. I'm the CTO. Brenda's the CEO. Mike is the CSO. He does the non-tech stuff. There's 3 of us full-time. And then we have Mike Kuhn. He's part-time, so he'll come in and help us occasionally whenever we have really hard dev tasks, basically. And then we're working on getting the bounty program up and running, and working to get more people on board. So, all right, any more questions, guys? Okay. What does Tellor's cash position look like? I don't know if I necessarily want to comment on that, but no, I mean, you guys can see our address. I think we have like 90,000 tributes in the owner account. So you'll see, if you want to know what our owner account is, it's the one. If you go look at all of the transactions in Tellor, we get paid 2.5 every block. So we're the people that get that payout. So you can go see. But I mean, we're good. Like we make we have plenty to keep funding the operations for a while. So hopefully this will outlast this bear market. And I think we answered this one on the last call too. We'll be building this, and no matter what happens to the Tellor price, we've been building this before we had the token, and we're going to keep building it. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so I guess action items for you guys. Go look at the bounties. If you want to mine and you don't have some fancy rigs, I'll post the pool stuff so you guys can jump on a mining pool. Hopefully you can just get a few bucks or whatever a day, and it should be pretty cool. And then if you want to get involved more on the deeper research side, let me know. Would love to have you guys. So everyone, thanks for coming. Happy New Year's. And somebody asked, how often do we do these? We try and do these every week. We didn't do one last week because of Christmas, but we do these every week at 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock on Tuesdays. And I'm going to post the video to my YouTube, and then I'll post it to all the channels. So you can always just look in. So open for any questions. And yeah, thanks for joining, guys. And talk to you guys next week.